Destination Nightmare, the B-Movie Podcast.
Yeah.
But anyway, so from 1981, the movie Caveman with Ringo Starr, Barbara Bach, John Matuszak, who was, I guess he was a football player for the Oakland Raiders. Yeah, Oakland Raiders, yeah. Jack Gilford, Avery Schreiber, Shelley Long was in this. I forgot she was even in this movie. Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid.
And Barbara Bach, yeah, of course, Barbara Bach, yeah, and Evan Kim, who was the kung fu guy in the movie Kentucky Fried Movie. Did you see Kentucky Fried Movie?
Something like that.
Yeah, he was the Bruce Lee guy in The Fistful of Yen.
Yeah, okay. I remember seeing him going, I know he's famous. I can't remember what for.
Yeah, he was in the Kentucky Fried Movie, yeah.
Oh, that's a long time ago, too.
I read something about this. This is weird. It said the guy who did the special effects, Jim Danforth, he left the movie because of something. They said he wanted to be credited as co-director, and the guild wouldn't let him, so he quit the movie. Did you read that? It was kind of a weird. Yeah, it's on Wikipedia, and he left the movie, but they finished it off, and I don't know. It was strange. Danforth was worked with whatchamacallit, Harryhausen.
Yeah.
And there's later, I think he might have worked on Harryhausen and what's the one, the Cowboys and the Dinosaurs. We're gonna get stuck on this one.
Here we go.
Valley of Gwangi.
Yeah.
Valley of Gwangi. So, and I'm not sure if it was Danforth or David Allen who did the effects for Flesh Gordon. that insane movie. That insane movie. So he was really good. He was really good, and this is a silly movie, I wasn't expecting it to be like anything great, and it lived up to the expectations that I had, but it was kind of fun.
I remember seeing this when it first came out.
You did?
Yeah, and I was in college. I got my then girlfriend to drive me, because I didn't have a car, to the movie theater, and we watched it. And I was all hyped because, I like stop motion animation and love Ringo Starr, and it's, it's like one of those Friday night monster movies you watch, like Ray Harryhausen.
Yeah.
And I was disappointed because the humor was like third grade or.
Yes.
It wasn't that funny. It was not to see the actors, so for me, the fact that it has Ringo Starr and animated dinosaurs, that's enough to watch the movie.
I was looking through Barbara Bach's filmography, and about the best movie she made was probably like the Bond movie or whatever, because she did a lot of B movies. I didn't realize that. I thought she did more upscale. She did a couple, but I was like, okay.
There was a couple of actresses, European actresses, like Barbara Bach and Sybil Danning.
Barbara Bach is from Jersey, man. From Queens, New York. Yeah. She's from Queens.
God. I'm thinking she's like some, like
somewhere. No, everybody, because she looks exotic or whatever.
Yeah, she does.
I think she's from Queens, man.
My whole life is a lie.
You were there. I was there when she was around,
But, like another actress is like Sybil Danning.
Sybil Danning, German or something, or Swedish or something.
But she was in a lot of like B movies.
Yeah.
Back in like the 70s and 80s, they did a lot of really cheesy movies. To sort of cash in on.
I know, and I miss it.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause you could see some real stinkers, but that were a lot of fun,
But they were a lot of fun, That's what it's all about, having fun, not in, whatever. But yeah, no, she was in, what was that one? She was in, they called it Screamers here, and it was originally called Island of the Fishmen.
Yeah. I remember, I didn't see that one, but I remember.
I've seen it, yeah. But the American version of it has added footage that isn't in the European one, so. It has I think it has an intro or something, and I think the American version is Cameron Mitchell, who's not in the European one. It's one of those Roger Corman. And by the way, Roger Corman just had a birthday. He's 98 years old.
Wow, son of a gun. Jeez.
I guess B movies keep you, around, you know. Anyway, so this was directed by Carl Gottlieb, and forgot who the other guy was, but I know their names from TV shows. So this is almost like I wouldn't call it a TV movie because it's a little more than that, but it had that TV humor feel or whatever, that sitcom.
Yeah, you could see Caveman, as a sitcom with like goofy, back then funny weirdo stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of like an updated Flintstones kind of thing,
Yeah. I mean, back in the 70s, they had those Hammer ones, right? They had, Creatures, The World Forgot, and they had those ones where, those Edgar Rice Burroughs ones, the Amicus ones where it was like, the people that time forgot and the land that time forgot and the whatever that time forgot. And then in the 60s, you had, 1 Million BC with Raquel Welch, which was Harryhausen and others.
And there was another, like a sort of like a sequel, which was,
wasn't it the Creatures that time, wasn't it the,
yeah.
If there was one of those, it was like the Creatures I'm going to screw up the title. I watched it a couple of years ago. That wasn't the Creatures that time forgot, but it was the Creatures. But anyway, I don't remember there even being a monster in it. It was just like two tribes fighting each other.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the actors and actresses who were in 1 Million Years BC were also in the Creatures that time forgot.
We're going to just go by that title or whatever. Yeah. We forgot about a lot of time there. But yeah, it was with Julie Edge and, oh God. It's funny because that movie, The Creatures that time forgot, whatever it was, when I joined up Facebook, like the first week I joined up Facebook, somebody was having they were showing it and you could comment on it. So that was one of the first things I ever did on Facebook was like, and I was making jokes about it, it's like, oh, okay, cool, whatever, but yeah, that's when I saw it about 3 or 4 years ago, I think. It's okay.
Yeah, there's an actress who, she kind of reminds me of Barbara Steele.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. It's, again, I'm going to have an old guy moment, but
an old man moment.
It's, she's even like, she was in Bond movies too. She was in one of the early Bond movies.
Yeah. What the hell is her name?
It just hit me a second ago. People that are listening to the show now know who it is, and they're psychically they're telling us who it is, but yeah. You know what? She was even in Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde, man.
Yeah, she played Sister Hyde.
Oh no, that's just killing me. But anyway, Martine Beswick. Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you, Brain. I know it took you a few minutes to get there, but Martine Beswick. Okay, yeah.
It was like the Queen.
She was in one of those. What the hell was it?
It was the creature. It was the supposed sequel, the creature that.
Was the Creatures that time forgot or whatever? I'm gonna look it up right now just to be like a goofball or whatever, But at any rate, yeah. They did a lot of them, and I mean, and they were all like, I mean, there was one in the 40s. What was it? 1 Million BC with Lon Chaney. That was kind of like the prototype. I think there was even a silent movie.
They had, there was the one with Victor Mature and Carol Landis.
That's 1 Million BC.
1 Million BC, okay. And then,
there was one with, there was a silent movie one. And then there was stuff like The Land Unknown in the 50s and,
there's one with, Eog, with,
Ega.
Whatever, Ega.
With Richard Kiel. I think it's Creatures the World Forgot, actually.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm typing it in right now, though. Yeah, it's Creatures the World Forgot. I think that's the sequel to
1 Million Years BC.
1 Million BC. That's Hammer's sequel to it. Yeah.
Women of Wongo.
Wild Women of Wongo. Yeah. Oh man.
Filmed part of that in Coral Castle down in Florida.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out. Oh, there was another one from Hammer called Prehistoric Women, and I think that's the one with Martine Beswick.
Okay. All right.
Because I don't think Creatures the World Forgot has Martine Beswick in it. I'm looking at it right now, but okay. I think it's Prehistoric Women or something like that. Creatures the World Forgot. Let's see who's in this.
Meld into your memory as because we haven't really seen a lot of these in a long time.
I haven't seen. Yeah, Martine Beswick isn't in this, but I'm sure she's in Prehistoric Women.
Prehistoric Women, definitely.
But at any rate, yeah, this is a comedy. This is a spoof on all those movies or whatever, and well, it tries to be anyway. I guess I'm trying to figure out how Ringo got involved in this. I was reading into it, but I couldn't. I guess it was just he wasn't doing anything at the time, so he took the money and ran, with it or whatever. Considering he was the guy who got the least royalties from the Beatle records because he didn't write any. Well, he did write a couple of songs, but not many. Those other two guys wrote most of the songs.
Yeah.
You froze up there, man.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought the video froze. Oh, you froze there for a second there. Oh, okay. Yeah, the video's getting goofy or whatever. It's okay. I can still hear you.
Okay.
So at any rate, yeah. So, let's see. John Matuszak, Jack Gilford, who was, another mostly TV actor,
I thought he was in some movies.
He was in some movies, but I can't think of any of them.
Yeah, and usually they were like a funny thing happened on the way.
Exactly, on the way to the Forum or something like that.
Mad World, and those kind of movies. I think he did a lot of Borscht Belt theater.
I remember seeing him in a commercial when I was a kid.
Yeah, he did a series of really popular Cracker Jack commercials.
Cracker Jack, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
And that's how I first really knew of him.
That's right. I mean, I remember seeing those in New York when I was a little kid or whatever, yeah. And I think he was silent in those movies too. He just kind of pantomimed it.
Just had the mute, I think it was like boop, 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 boop. And he was like, I remember one he was sharing Cracker Jacks with a kid, and then another one he found a prize in it. And they were really cool, very creative commercials. Back then.
They still have Cracker Jack, but they come in. They don't come in the box anymore. They come in.
All the prizes are made out of paper.
The prizes are all made out of paper. It sucks.
Yeah.
I like Cracker Jacks, and I bought them the other day, and I'm thinking, oh, what a prize am I getting? It was like a sticker.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cheesy, man. I mean,
that's another thing I miss as from being a kid is cereal prizes. You buy a box of cereal and you get a free dinosaur, a car, or whatever.
Oh yeah, when I was doing one of the This Night's Nightmare movie theater things, I put an old movie in it, but I had commercials, and one of them was a Trix commercial. Yeah. And there was planes and the Stuka planes, and it's like, oh man, that's cool. Why can't they? Yeah. Or even on the Frito boxes. I remember when we used to buy like a 6-pack of Fritos to take them to school for me to eat. There was always like a little Frito Bandito guy in it or something like that.
You can put on, or little toppers you can put on your pencil.
Yeah.
Yeah, like little planes or cars that you could like put together. Captain Crunch had a ship. I forget the name of his ship. Or I remember getting a little, I think it was wheat puffs or rice puffs. They had a little flying saucer that you put a rubber band in it, and you could shoot out like this little anchor, and you had 3 little aliens you would knock over. I mean, like really cool stuff. And then like the comics, I remember Bazooka Joe getting a submarine that fired torpedoes, and you'd fire at this battleship, and if you hit there was like a lever in there, and if you hit it, the top of it would pop off as if it exploded.
Oh, those were the days, I tell you. These kids today, they don't know how good it was, Now they got the stupid, computer and video games and all that crap, but we actually got like free prizes and cereal boxes that actually,
And diabetes, but that's another story.
Well, yeah, that's true, but that's the way it goes.
Although that was before they started doing high fructose corn syrup, so
Yeah, that's true, isn't it? Is that the cause of a lot of the?
Yeah, because it's your body can't digest. Your body's not made to digest because it's made from like the stalks and the leaves of corn, the stuff you don't eat, and it goes through this really long chemical process to extract the sugar, but it's cheap enough where it's cheaper than like cane sugar or beet sugar or whatever. So yeah, that's one reason. And then they put sugar in everything. I've really cut back on my sugar, and I can't believe how sweet a lot of things taste now. It's oof.
Yeah, when you stop eating sugary stuff, and you get a Coke, it's like really sweet or whatever.
Holy Toledo! And I think a lot of the way we make a lot of foods, they ban them in Europe because they just got too much sugar in them or something. Things really do taste different over in Europe. Or if you make your own bread and you don't put sugar in it, it tastes a whole lot different.
Does it really? I don't know. No idea.
Yeah.
But anyway, getting back to the movie, Caveman.
That's how good this movie is.
Well, here, I don't know why, but I wrote like, 7 pages of scenes in this one. So this movie's got plenty of scenes in it, but they're all like kind of like nonsense or whatever. But at any rate, I think from what I remember, I think the movie starts out with Ringo looking for food, and he comes across a giant monster, and then you meet John Matuszak, who's like and Ringo was part of the tribe, right? At the beginning, he was like and he was also like hunchback or crooked or something.
They were all bent over because they were cavemen. It actually starts out and it says 1 zillion BC.
Yeah, right.
October 9th, and Ringo wanted that in because that's John Lennon's birthday.
I thought John was November. Oh, it was October 9th. Okay, yeah.
October 9th.
Okay.
So they're looking for food, and
you start to meet, Ringo, and then you meet John Matuszak, who's the bad guy, and then Dennis Quaid shows up, and Dennis Quaid gets into a fight with a dinosaur and bites it or whatever.
He hurts his leg. So
and that's is that the goofball dinosaur with the goofy eyes, or was that the other guy at the beginning?
The goofy one. It was eating melons.
But then it kind of took one of the tribes people. It grabbed one of
the tribes people.
So he has like a
like a long scene where people are trying to climb out of the way, and then it knocks over the tree. Well, Ringo's going looking for food, and it sees Ringo and follows it, and he's running. He runs into the group of them saying monster or whatever the word was. So they all try to climb a tree and hide, and the thing comes walking in. It knocks over one of the trees. It looks like a big lizard with a horn and like bug eyes.
It was funny. It was cool looking.
Yeah. So it knocks over the tree, and it gets one of the guys and brings it back. So then they all sort of blame Ringo, and they put him in the back of the line.
Well, Ringo, it seemed like he was browbeaten by all the cavemen, because it was like Matuszak and Avery Schreiber, and then a bunch of other guys, and then Barbara Bach was Miss Hot Stuff. She was Matuszak's girlfriend or whatever, and Ringo has a hot for her, obviously.
Well, Ringo's his friend is Dennis Quaid,
and he's got a broken leg or something.
Or whatever. So Ringo tries to help him, and then the tribe comes back and he says because he's hurt, he can't come with us because I guess survival of the fittest or whatever. So then they go back. They leave Dennis Quaid. They go back to the cave.
And Ringo finds some kind of berries that are like get you wasted or something like that.
The leaves are cannabis.
Oh, is that what it was? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Poppy, because they had red flowers, something like that.
Oh, I didn't know.
They give Ringo. They want him to test it, so he eats it, and he's getting stoned, and so he grabs a bunch of the berries, puts it in his pocket, and then he sort of falls asleep, and then the tribe leaves him, and then he goes back to the cave, and then he drugs.
Yeah, he wants to get Barbara Bach, so he gives her a fruit first, and then Matuszak eats it, but then he takes the berries from that cannabis tree, he puts them in a fruit, and it knocks them both out.
And then he's trying to have sex with them with Barbara Bach.
With her, yeah, and
it's like some Matuszak's farting, and then they're going back.
Yeah, this is where all the great comedy starts coming in.
Yeah. So eventually, Ringo Starr tries to jump on her, but she rolls over to the side. So he ends up between Matuszak and Barbara Bach, and he falls asleep. And then, it's morning, and then Matuszak kind of wakes up, but he's got his eyes closed. So he grabs Ringo Starr, thinking it's Barbara Bach. And then
he wants to hump him.
Yeah, he wants to, hump Ringo, thinking it's Barbara Bach.
Yeah,
and he opens his eyes, sees Ringo Starr, and chases him away. And
then Ringo goes outside and sees Quaid again.
Yeah,
and then somehow or another, Quaid fixes his back or something.
Yeah, he gets kicked out of the tribe. Or Ringo gets kicked out of the tribe. So he's walking along. He finds Dennis Quaid, and Dennis Quaid's, I don't know, he's hopping along, and he's hopping on the wrong leg. So they meet each other, and they're happy, and they give each other really, big hugs, and suddenly you hear like this back cracking, and they both stand up straight. Because throughout the first part of this movie, everybody's walking around hunched over like they're.
That's why they had a hunched one son, because of the cave. Okay, I get it. Yeah.
Then they're walking around. They come across Jack Gilford and
Shelley Long,
and he falls in the mud, in the tar pit or whatever. So he rescues Jack Gilford from it, and then Dennis Quaid straightens his back. And then Ringo Starr straightens Shelley Long's back, and she falls in love with him and stuff. So then they're, let me see now.
They're just walking around, and Jack Gilford, because he's blind.
Yeah.
And he bumps into some dinosaur or something.
He bumps into the stomach, and then he's rubbing it, and then you see the T-Rex getting sleepy, and then he hit, because he doesn't know what it is. Then he hits it with his cane, and then the T-Rex roars and goes walking off. And then Ringo Starr, Dennis Quaid, and Shelley Long, they're looking for Jack Gilford. But they're calling his name, and the T-Rex, he comes around the corner, sees them, and he goes running after them. And what's her name?
Shelley Long.
Long falls, and then Ringo Starr saves her, and somehow the T-Rex keeps coming at him, so he holds up he's trying to get this tree.
Ringo gets it with a branch or something like that. He pokes him.
Catch up, and one end's pointed, and the dinosaur goes to grab him to eat him, and the tree sticks him in the shoulder, and then the dinosaur walks away. Then he's because Ringo Starr is supposed to be really smart, so then he's like, I'm going to do that to to Matuszak. I can never say.
Or Tongo, whatever the hell his name was in the movie.
Tonda.
And then all of a sudden, you start to get the impression that Shelley Long likes Ringo, but Ringo really wants Lana, which is Barbara Bach or whatever. So he kind of turns her down.
Yeah. So they go back to the cave, and then he kidnaps
Lana.
And
Barbara Bach.
And he chases after him.
And Matuszak falls on a rock or something.
He picks up a rock to throw, and then he falls backwards or forwards or something. I don't know. And then Barbara Bach sort of escapes and goes back to
the tribe or whatever.
Yeah, the tribe. So then the four of Ringo, Shelley, Jack Gilford, and Dennis Quaid, they're walking around looking for food and stuff, and they come upon
a family, right?
Yeah, another tribe of weird people. One guy's got his arm all. That was in the other. Was that no? Yeah,
no, that's that tribe. Yeah, they're all different. Yeah. There's an Asian guy, Evan Kim.
Yeah, so
there's a couple of gay guys in there too.
Yeah, so Ringo sort of adopts this new.
They got a tribe now. He's got a tribe. He's not on his own anymore,
By being nice and friendly. And then it starts to rain, and then they fire.
Well, a lizard monster shows up, I think, and it scares them, I think, and they go into the tree, right, or something.
No, that's raining.
Okay.
It's raining, so then they go into this empty tree, and then lightning hits the tree.
And starts fire.
And the branch falls down and it starts fire. So
they discover fire.
He says, "Oh, it's nice and warm." So then two guys are fighting over a wild turkey, and then Ringo, he remembers seeing
Matuszak like rip a fruit, some kind of a fruit,
something apart. So he tries that with the turkey, and then he has another guy help him trying to pull it apart, and they're holding it over the fire, and they discover
fried chicken.
Yeah.
And then they're all sitting by the campfire, like eating the chicken, and they start hitting the bones, and then they discover music.
Into coconuts and stuff, and then they invent music. And then the next day, as they're like warming their hands, Ringo Starr his finger catches fire, and he goes, "Ow!" So they realize that fire is dangerous. And then a T-Rex. They're out looking for food, and a T-Rex sees them. So Ringo goes running back, and he's yelling, "Monster, monster!" So that everybody flees. And then the T-Rex comes into camp, and then he sees that the fire there, so he climbs in a tree to get the attention of the T-Rex. T-Rex walks over and stands in the fire while he's trying to eat Ringo. And suddenly he starts smelling the air, and then like the pain, I guess, gets up to his brain. And then he screams and goes limping off, trying to shake off the pain from his foot. And everybody's like, "Yay!"
Yeah, and then the next thing is they go out looking for food, and they find a giant egg, which I think is a pterodactyl egg.
Yeah. So then they're carrying it back.
And then Matuszak and company steal it from them.
Yes. So then, after they put the egg down, they're all tired, because they haven't, gotten back to their tribe yet. And Matuszak's tribe comes, they see the egg, and then they see Ringo Starr, and then they start chasing. Matuszak's tribe chases Ringo Starr's tribe around the egg.
So stupid.
And then Ringo's tribe runs into a crevice in the side of the mountain, and then Matuszak still runs, and then he stops and realizes that Ringo Starr's tribe is gone. So then Matuszak's tribe carries the egg, and it's a scene where they're trying to go up and down a hill, and Matuszak's running, back and forth with them, trying not to get hit by the egg. It was like a Benny Hill scene,
Exactly, yeah. All you need is yakety sax. And
then, and then they are, they're walking along, and a pterodactyl comes at them and starts flying. They drop the egg. Without running away, they drop the egg into a crater of
it's a lava crater or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And it becomes like a fried egg, a big giant fried egg.
So Matuszak, they look, they go, they walk away, and meanwhile Ringo Starr's tribe comes, and they see the egg, and they start poking at it and standing on it, and they break the yolk and get covered in it. And then Ringo Starr eats it, and he goes, "Oh, good." So they all cut pieces of the egg, and it's a giant egg. I mean, it's
it's a pterodactyl egg.
Yeah, when it lands in the hot spring, it's 12 feet across or whatever. So you see the guys walking back with large pieces of egg.
And then there's a fight between Matuszak and Ringo's people, and then Ringo's people use fire against them or whatever. But I think Matuszak's guys take the fire sticks away from it. Go back to the cave.
So Ringo Starr's tribe are like, "Oh, there's no fire." So Ringo Starr is like, "Okay, we're gonna go and raid Matuszak's cave." So he doesn't say that, So then they're getting weapons ready. They drug.
Before that doesn't like a dinosaur attack Ringo's people again, and he does the berry trick where he gets a.
Yeah, well, he's putting berries in it because I think they capture that, and that's what they make their armor out of.
But I think there was a scene where the dinosaur attacks him, and like as they're running away, Ringo like falls, or one of the guys, Dennis Quaid or somebody falls, and Ringo gets like one of those cannabis things and throws it at the dinosaur, and the dinosaur eats it and gets wasted or something. I seem to remember a scene like that.
Yeah, later on. This one,
okay.
They drugged the dinosaur, the lizard, with the
poppy berries or whatever. Yeah.
In pumpkins, because they already established that it eats pumpkins, and so they get it, and then from its skin and stuff, they make armor, and then Ringo Starr figures out how to make weapons.
And then Matuszak's tribe is bathing in the water, and then Lana gets stuck in the slipstream or something like that. I remember there was a scene, and then that's when Ringo rescues her or whatever, because he ends up losing her into the falls or something, and
waterfall rapids kind of thing. She falls there, and Ringo Starr was watching them. Yeah, they went to the cave and they sort of got their fire, and they took some other things like food and whatever. And
so he saves her, but Dennis Quaid gets caught in the stream also, and he ends up like in the frozen part of town,
and like the glacier area, and then he comes out, and then you see this
like an abominable snowman kind of guy.
That's Richard Mole from.
That was Richard Mole in that suit? Oh, okay.
What do you call it? What's that? Night Court. So there.
Bull. Yeah, he just died, Richard Mole.
Yeah. So, then you see Dennis Quaid looking, he wanders away looking, and then you see the abominable snowman following him.
And then they both get frozen somehow, or they fall in a lake or something, and they froze or something?
No,
or
you don't know that yet.
Oh, okay.
So, Ringo goes back to Barbara Bach, and he brings it to the tribe. And then they're all like, "Where's Laura?" And he indicates that Laura was in the water, and they're like, "Well, we gotta go get him." And so Ringo goes, "All right." So, but all the men go and leave.
Shelley Long and Jack Gilford.
Yeah, and then Shelley Long is upset that Barbara Bach is.
She's jealous, yeah.
Jealous. So she goes to Tondo's cave and says, "Oh," and Tondo's like trying to pick out his next mate, and Shelley Long says, "Oh, Lana," and she keeps like pointing. So all the men in the tribe of Matuszak. I don't know why. I've always had trouble with that name. Matuszak's tribe. Oh. They go back to where Lana is at Ringo Starr's tribe. And then all the men steal all the women, and they just leave Jack Gilford. So then all the men of Ringo's tribe, they follow the footprints. And that's when they see Dennis Quaid and the abominable snowman.
Frozen, that's right, yeah.
And like Dennis Quaid is running away, and the abominable snowman's running after him like that. So they start chipping Dennis Quaid out, and then they put the torches near where the abominable snowman is, and then they free Dennis Quaid from the ice. But what they don't realize is the torches melted the ice. So then the abominable snowman chases them, and because they're on ice, they're all slipping and sliding and stuff. And the abominable snowman is trying to grab them, and he's slipping and sliding. They finally escape. And
then they go back and they see that was Shelley Long back already, and they find out that Lana's with the tribe again or whatever, right?
Jack Gilford tells them that Atouk's men came and stole all.
Yeah.
So then they start preparing for war.
Yeah, and then they create weapons with whatever they got there,
Tie sticks to rocks, and
they even create a smoke bomb somehow or another.
They create a smoke bomb and all that stuff. And that's when they captured the giant lizard. And then, because in the end, at the end of the war, he appears as the mount with like the horse.
Yeah. Because they're going to fight Matuszak's people or whatever. But then I didn't realize that they had captured the lizard, so they go to fight with their sticks, and they even got like a slingshot too, right? They invent a slingshot too.
Yeah,
Ringo invented all this stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. So then they go there. They catapult the short guy up on. He throws down a smoke bomb. He gets everybody out, and then Ringo's tribe attacks Matuszak's tribe, and they're fighting back and forth. And then there's a final showdown between Ringo on the lizard, sitting on the lizard, and Matuszak fighting, coming after him. And, he hits him and knocks him over, and then Matuszak pulls Ringo off and he starts kicking him and stuff. And then Barbara Bach gets in and she kicks him a bit. And everybody's standing around watching the two leaders fight. And then Ringo Starr hits him with using the slingshot, knocks him down.
Well, he's like fights him first. He also invented a shield. So when Matuszak takes the weapon from him, the stick or whatever, the spear, he knocks him over with a shield or whatever. Yeah. And then he grabs a slingshot and knocks Matuszak out with it.
Then he starts jumping on him, and
I guess he killed him, because he never came back.
Yeah. So then, at the end, it's like, everybody's screaming Atouk. That's Ringo's name. Atouk, Atouk. And even the Tonda's tribesmen now realize Ringo Starr's the leader. So then Barbara Bach comes over and she's getting all flirty, and so Ringo Starr. Shelley Long comes over first, and she's like, "Oh, Atouk." She's all happy, and then Ringo.
She's sad that Ringo's with Barbara Bach or whatever.
And then they go up, and everybody's shouting Atouk, and she's all, upset and sad. So then Ringo picks up Barbara Bach and dumps her in a giant pile of dinosaur poo. And then he goes over to Shelley Long, and she's all happy, and then they're like king and queen of the combined tribe.
Yeah.
And then they go into the cave, and they're gonna, I think what they call it, Atouk or something.
Whatever, yeah.
And then at the end it says, and they lived happily ever after. Oh.
It is a spoof of it's more of a spoof of those Hammer ones than anything else, like the Creatures the World Forgot and 1 Million BC. But in all actuality, those movies are probably better than this, Not much better, even Prehistoric Women. Not much, but, better, but, it is what it is,
Those English carry-on movies were spoofs of other genres.
Yeah, I only watched one of those, the Carry On Screaming, which is a spoof of monster movies. I never watched the other ones, so.
Yeah, but they had one that was spies, one that was army.
Did they do a caveman one or no?
I don't know if they did, but they did like an ancient Rome one.
Yeah.
Like they did whatever the genre of movies were, they would do a spoof.
They would play them on TV every once in a while.
Yeah, some of them are funnier than others. They did a doctor one, I remember.
Carry On Doctor, yeah.
And it was the same actors and actresses in each.
I think there may even have been a TV series like Carry On too. That was like a big thing over there.
Yeah.
And there was another series back then with a guy. His name was Robin Asquith, and he kind of looked like a sleazy version of Peter Noon, Herman's Hermits. Mm-hmm. And he used to do like Confessions of a Window Cleaner, Confessions of and they were all like Brit sleaze movies or whatever. But they used to play them on Cinemax at night, so I remember seeing some of them or whatever. Yeah.
One Confessions of a Milkman.
Yeah, something like that. I just remember the window cleaner one. I was like, oh, okay. Whatever. But yeah, they had those, and they had to Carry On, and they had Benny Hill. The only one of those shows that I really liked was Monty Python, really, because it was the most absurd one of them all,
Very, absurdist and weird and funny, and every once in a while a naked girl.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But I also like Benny Hill because it was. It's just so goofy. He brings out the 9-year-old in me.
That's the thing about it. At the time, I didn't like Benny Hill because they used to play Monty Python and then afterwards Benny Hill, and it was completely diametrically opposed humor, and it was like, I like it now, but
like you never really saw on TV where like the guy goes to ride on the bicycle. And then the seat falls off before he sits down. Then you hear like a crunch.
Yeah.
Benny Hill goes, ooh, and then he walks funny. I mean.
And then he would do every once in a while he would do like some rhyme song that was dirty or whatever.
But that's, I mean, yeah, two totally different types of
and if I remember correctly, down in South Florida, they're playing back to back, or at least I seem to remember being on Thursday night, they'll play Python, and then Benny Hill, and then other times they would play a guy called, you remember him, Dave Allen at Large?
Yeah.
Who would sit down and take jokes, and he was missing part of a finger or something like that.
Index finger or something.
Yeah, they would have him on every once in a while. I never got him, but you know, I could see like Benny Hill and Monty Python. But again, two completely different styles that collided. But it was like I remember people, I hate Monty Python, but you know, Benny Hill's funny, and I'm like, I think Python's in, but Benny Hill's stupid. But then, you know, after a while, they both became interesting or whatever, you know, in their own ways or whatever.
Showing Seinfeld and then an episode of the Three Stooges, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I can't watch Seinfeld anymore. That doesn't seem funny to me, even though there are some classic shows, but I just can't anymore. The Stooges I can still watch though.
The certain scenes.
In Seinfeld, that is still funny, yeah.
Yeah, that are still, and usually they have Kramer in them.
The one that I remember being funny was the one about that guy Jimmy. Jimmy's getting upset. Jimmy's happy now. That was just like, what? Well, there was that one with Terry Hatcher about her boobs, where everybody didn't know if they were real or not. And at the end she goes, yes, they're real.
Yeah.
And they're spectacular. That stuff still cracks me up, though.
The one with the woman who had the man hands.
Oh, yeah.
Every time they would show the hand, you would just see Jerry sitting there, and then there's obviously a man putting his hand on, stroking his
Yeah, I know. There were some funny moments, but I just can't watch. I can't watch it anymore. But yeah, there was some classic stuff on there. You know, the soup Nazi, you know, crap like that or whatever, you know. But to me, Benny Hill was like, the part that I like about it now is like sadly, it's the sleaze factor, because there was always like some hot chick running around and then, you know, and it's like, okay, you know.
One where, one of the characters turned into the She-Hulk or something like that. And you see, her running. She's wearing this like bikini top, and she's very chesty. And as she's running, she's bouncing, but they're doing it in slow mo. That's good. That's good TV. That's like, you ever see The Man Show?
Oh God, yeah, with that jerk Jimmy Kimmel, yeah. It's funny how like he gets away with all the crap that he did on that show, you know. But yeah, I remember The Man Show. Adam Carolla too. Yeah.
And at the end, he always ended it with.
On trampolines.
In bikinis on trampolines or whatever it was called. And I can remember the first time I saw that, I was laughing at it because it was so stupid, and yet I couldn't stop watching it.
I remember watching it. It was on Comedy Central. That's before the world got woke.
Yeah. But
you could do crap like that and get away with it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, The Man Show. I remember. I'm looking up the Carry On movies. Let's see if they did a Carry On Caveman, Carry On Sergeant, Carry On Nurse, Carry On Teacher, Carry On Constable, Carry On Cruising, Carry On, God, they did a lot of them. Carry On Cabby, Carry On Jack, Carry On Spying, Cleopatra, there's a cowboy one, the Screaming one, which was the horror one, Doctor, Camping, there was a jungle. Man, they did a lot of them.
Yeah, they did. It was a whole series.
I can't even, they were doing they even did stuff like Carry On Emmanuel. Oh. They did them through 1982. They started in what? 58.
Wow.
They were doing, I'm looking through here, they're doing one a year. You know.
Wow.
The last one was Carry On Columbus. I guess it was like, but yeah, they didn't do a Caveman one. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
They did one called Carry On Dick. I guess it's a detective. I'm not sure, you know.
Maybe.
Oh, let me see something here for a second. What was that one with Peter Sellers? What was it called? The Mouse That Roared or something like that?
Roared, and then they did two. I think he did two more.
Yeah, something like that. That was that, but that wasn't the Carry On people. That was like they were called the Goons or something like that, or there was like a.
Yeah.
I think Dudley Moore was maybe involved with that, maybe or
Dudley,
something.
Peter Cook, and some other comics that I don't remember, but I've seen in other shows. Yeah, I think it was called Spike Mulligan.
That was a different guy.
But wasn't he in the? I think he was in the.
He
Goons.
might have been. You know what? He might have been. I don't even remember. I
Because
don't know.
I know John Cleese was in something.
He was in a show that was called. It was in a show before Monty Python.
Yeah.
And they used sketches from it. They reused sketches from it on Monty Python. Believe it or not, it was called. Oh God. Okay. Well, I'm looking through prehistoric movies. They actually did a 10,000. It says 10,000 BC, but it's probably. Shouldn't it be 10 million BC? I think this is a documentary. I think this is a. Oh, it says 10,000 BC from 2008. So it's a caveman movie.
I remember saying that. It wasn't. They were sort of later cavemen, and they were mammoth hunters, and then a bunch of people were kidnapped by like an ancient Egyptian pyramid builders who used mammoths and cave people to help build the pyramids.
Ah, is that what it is? Okay.
He goes in and rescues the cave people and kills the bad pharaoh. And it kind of gave the appearance that like the pharaoh, who was a big tall guy, maybe he was an extraterrestrial or like a not even like a superhuman kind of thing. It was interesting, but again, the story was blah.
So you saw that one, okay?
Yeah, I saw that one because I'm a sucker for those kind of movies. And then what he did is he brought agriculture back to his tribe.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So this was from 2008.
Yeah, I think there was a picture. What it was is you see the cave guy hero, and then a saber-toothed tiger, confronting him. And I think the tagline was the world's first hero or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, it was. I mean, it was fun. It was done kind of seriously. A lot of holes in the plot, but it is what it is. It's just a fun movie to watch. It's not you're not gonna.
Wasn't there one with Daryl Hannah called Clan of the Cave Bear or something like that?
He's a Cro-Magnon woman.
You saw that one too?
Raised by Neanderthals. That stunk as far as I'm.
I remember the one with we're just gonna go through it. The one with Joan Crawford, Trog.
Yeah.
That was another stinker.
Yeah, they found a troglodyte in a cave in England, and they try to train him, and he ends up going on a killing spree, and then in the end they finally have to kill him, or the military, end up shooting him dead. I don't know. Again, it's another weird.
Well, okay, there was 1 million BC, which is the one from Hammer there. I'm just going through these caveman movies. There's Caveman from 81, Clan of the Cave Bear, okay. Oh, well, I've never even heard of some of these. I'm just going through the Ice Age. Well, that's a Disney. The Land Before Time. Okay, that was a cartoon also. Boy, there's a lot of them. Quest for Fire. That was another one.
That wasn't too bad, although like the guy discovers the Neanderthals. They meet a Cro-Magnon caveman. He discovers having sex face to face and discovers fire. And then,
this when I'm looking at. Okay, there was a Lost Continent movie from '51. Okay, that was with Cesar Romero.
Right.
But a lot of these movies that I'm looking on here are more modern movies or whatever. I mean, these are caveman movies or whatever. I'm looking for prehistoric movies. I'm looking for. This isn't giving me what I'm looking for. I'm looking for prehistoric women. I'm looking for the Hammer ones.
Right.
Let's see here. 1 million BC, the Flintstones. That was,
Mm.
I'm trying to think of the ones with, they keep giving me all these stupid, Modern ones. I mean, okay, but whatever. I give up. They're still making them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But okay, prehistoric women movies. All right, it's going to be in here somewhere. I think it's called Prehistoric Women, but like you said, The Wild Women of Wongo, the one that was filmed in Coral Castle.
Is the Mesa of Lost Women?
Mesa of course, Voyage to the Planet of Prehistoric Women. Of course,
Yeah.
we could forget that.
Yeah.
You know, Prehistoric Women. Yeah. That's the one with Martine Beswick as the queen. God, there's tons of them, man. Film set in prehistoric era. Let's see here. I'm sure there's 8 million of them. What the heck was, and then there's the Creatures the World Forgot. I know we're missing.
Yeah, we're missing some.
We're missing some, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. Okay. 1 million. Okay. Here's a real big list. There's something called Slave Girls from '67, which I've never seen.
Oh, I've never heard of that even.
When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth. That's the other one.
Yeah.
When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth.
Yeah. Didn't Don write that?
No. This is no.
He
would have, you know, but no, he would have if he could have, but no, this is 1970. I think it was before he was writing movies. Okay, here's another one, which is a crappy comedy, When Women Had Tails. It was like a sex comedy. And then there was a sequel, When Women Lost Their Tails.
Yeah.
Quest for Fire, yeah.
I think I tried to watch that and couldn't.
Oh, yeah, I got it on like some DVD. 10,000 BC, we talked about that.
Right.
Oh, come on. Give me more, you guys. I guess it's only giving me 20. There's a hell of a lot more. Come on, IMDb. Give me more. But anyway, we got some more in there or whatever. Prehistoric Women and, anyway. And I'm sure they'll make more because, of course, you know, like the freaking, the Jurassic Park movies or whatever, you know. They're always pretty big. So anyway, right. But anyway, so yeah, Ringo in Caveman. Yeah. Watch at your own, you know, discretion or whatever.
Yeah. It's a fun movie. A fun movie. Like Friday night, you get a pizza, and then you put it on
and have a few beers.
Yeah, have a few beers and fall asleep halfway through, and then wake up near the end, going, "What's going on?" Oh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. It would have been nice if they would have had more hot cave women, though. Barbara Bach was the only one. Shelley Long was okay, but, you know.
Yeah. There was one, she was dark-haired.
Yeah, right.
She was the maid of the guy who's got his hair burned.
Yeah.
She was kind of attractive.
But, you know, I was hoping for more, you know, cave babes, but, you know, that's the way it goes, man.
Yeah.
You know.
That'll be a good movie, Cave Babes.
Yeah. Hey, we just came up with a movie, Cave Babes, you know. But let's see if we can get Fred Olen Ray to direct it or something like that. I don't know if he's done any caveman movies, but
it was a simple.
He's on Facebook. You know what? I may ask him a question. Go, hey, Fred, have you ever done any caveman movies?
There was a movie I was just watching. What the hell was it? Where these 4 Navy men get stranded on a desert island with prehistoric women, and there's some prehistoric animals. It's the giant, where they glue frills and horns on lizards and
yeah, one of those. Oh God, now you're killing me.
But it was, bad acting. All the women had their hair perfectly, done up, and they wore makeup, and they all sort of coquettish, and they all in a lot of.
And they spoke English too, right?
They do that syncopated dancing, and then there's one in the middle. And you can tell they're all from burlesque because of how they move.
That sounds like Wild Women of Wongo, but maybe not.
Was it that or?
'Cause I don't remember that one having dinosaurs in it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it might have been Wild Women of Wongo. I'll have to look it up and see if I can find it.
Well, we'll look it up after the show and maybe we'll watch it. I don't know, or maybe not.
Yeah, well, maybe not.
I mean, this isn't Prehistoric Month or anything like that, so, but yeah, God, now you're killing me with that movie. What the hell is that movie? Was it from the 50s or the 60s?
It was from the 50s.
50s, okay.
And,
I know there was one called King Dinosaur, but I don't know if that's the one.
I remember that one had a guy in a suit.
Yeah. There was one from the 60s called The Lost World, but that was with, I think Claude Rains and Jill St. John or something like that, but.
That one either. This was definitely the 50s and, probably the mid 50s. They were Navy men and.
Oh, God.
Really bad dialogue and the women were just a tribe of women, and then they lived separate from the tribe of hairy men. They thought that these guys were part of the hairy men tribe, but they weren't. And I couldn't finish watching it. It was just.
Was it on YouTube?
I think it's on Tubi.
Oh, it was on Tubi. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it here, because it's killing me now. 1950s prehistoric movies, because I know what movie you're talking about. I can't I can't remember, because it reminds me of like one of those Cat Women on the Moon movies where they go into another planet.
Same kind of storyline.
Yeah, it's almost like one of those or whatever. Prehistoric movies. Okay, let's see here. Boy, I can't think of the title of it. Then again, I'm not that quick on the draw anymore, so it's like, let's see, boy. There was a prehistoric women movie from the 50s.
Is that it? Maybe that's it.
I think there was a prehistoric women from the 50s.
Yeah.
And I don't remember watching it though. That's the thing, but I remember seeing a picture of some like cave woman or something like that, but it's probably prehistoric women.
Yeah.
The 50s version of it.
Deserted Pacific, not deserted, some like a small.
Yeah, it's from 1950.
Pacific island that they
yeah, here you go. Tiger and her Stone Age girlfriends hate all men, but realizing they are a necessary evil, capture some for potential husband. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
And there was the other prehistoric women ended up being retitled Slave Girls, but that was a 1967 one. So yeah, that was it. Okay. We figured it out. Yep. We feel better now. And now it's time to say goodbye to all our family. No, I'm not doing the Beverly Hillbillies, but anyway. Oh God. Anyway, we better get going. The show's getting long, but we'll be back in a couple of weeks with a non-Ringo movie this time. A movie we've got two or three more to go, but next week we'll do something without Ringo. So, but anyway, Roddy, what should we be doing in the meantime?
In the meantime,
for the next show.
Watch more B-movies.